Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday. We hope that you're having a fantastic weekend so far. Today, we have an interesting topic for our Saturday stream. Because I am an engineer, I love to quantify things and make sure that things are measurable and use that to help make a determination as to whether or not to purchase something or to even make a decision to go into a market or do something like that. So today, we're going to be talking about some of the things that I like to quantitatively look at before selecting a market to invest in. I get this question so many times. I've had another video about what market to pick and why. We talked about some of the qualitative aspects, but here we're going to kind of jump into a little bit of the quantitative side and tap into my inner engineer, my recovering inner engineer. So let's talk about indicators. Why use indicators to help select a market? Well, indicators are quantitative. They allow us to make better informed decisions. They allow us to benchmark our decision making and try to use that to be able to compare it to other data. So for me, that's really important. I enjoy doing that kind of thing. So if you're like-minded to me, like you have an engineering mind or you think logically or you like looking at data and details to help make your decisions, then this is right up your alley because these are the things that I look at, okay? So the first thing that I like to look at is obviously population growth. I talked about this many times on other videos where we looked at a high level picture of what makes a good market, and population growth is one of those things, and it is worth repeating again. So that's why I'm bringing it up again. So usually what you need to do is whatever market you're looking to go into is your population growth in that market has to be better than the nation's average. So if the nation average is 3% or 3.5% or 2% or something, you want to make sure that whatever it is at that time when you are going to do your market decision, that one factor is the growth percent in that market. If you see that it's higher than the national average, then that means that there's, in general, a influx of population going into that market, which means there's going to be more demand. And that's always a good thing when you're looking for properties to buy, okay? The next thing to look at is called target rents and AMI. So the AMI is the average median income. What you're going to want here is you're going to want to basically get the median income, because if you take the average area income just in general, you're going to have some people that make millions of dollars and you're going to have some people that make a little bit of money. Well, these people that make lots and lots of money are going to skew the averages, so it's not really a good representation of what it is. So what you really want to do is look at the median income, what it's going to be for everyone, okay? So if you find the median income, you should look at targeting it to be 1.3 to 1.5 multiple of the needed rental rate for cash flow. So let's say that you need about 3,000 to, or you need 1,000 to 3,500. I'm sorry, let me start over again. Let's say that you need $1,000 in rent, okay? That means that your average annual median income should be somewhere between, should be 3 times that on a monthly basis. So for $1,000 in rent, that means that the people working there need to have a median income that supports $3,000 a month or $3,500 a month. And if you have that, then that ratio is good because that means that whatever your target rents are, your tenants can afford that. And so that's really what you want to make sure of, is that you've got this average or area median income at a third or a quarter of the rental rate, okay? So you want to make sure that ratio is in place. The next thing that you want to look at is cash flow on each of their rental units. So cash flow should be somewhere around $100 a door, or maybe $50 if you have a conservative vacancy factor. I'd like to consider maybe like a month of vacancy in every single property that I buy. So that means that you basically chop off about 1/12 of all of the income coming in. You give a month of your income just away, considering it to be vacancy. And that's a healthy little conservative factor there. So you'll need to make a determination as to whether or not $50 would get you down to a break even, and it would also be a good deal for the tenant. So if a $50 reduction in rent is going to get you a place where the tenant says, oh, that's a great deal, I'm going to buy it. Meaning if you have a $600 or $700 rent situation, then $50 is a big deal to a tenant like that. So you want to make sure that whatever cash flow you do forsake, it's going to make a difference in whatever it is you're going to do, so that way you're not at least bleeding and you're not putting money into this no matter what happens, okay? And it also depends on your objectives in investing. If you're looking for appreciation, then maybe even break-even cash flow might make sense for you if you're calculating that because you're counting on appreciation or what's going to happen in the future. Okay. All right, the next thing is absorption. I'm not going to talk too much about this because it's really hard to quantify this and the data varies a lot. But in general, you should be looking for less than 25 to 30 days of inventory in the market. That usually says that it's a hot market. So it may or may not be local, it may be completely national or whatever, but you want to look at how that compares to the national market in general and make your decision from there. If everything is hot right now, then that's actually a sign for you to be a little bit careful, a little bit more stringent on what you do. But if you can see that there's even less inventory available in terms of days and absorption meaning just like number of new units that get people placed, right? You want to make your plans accordingly. So you just want to make sure that if it's a super hot market, be careful what you buy because sometimes, it may be overheated or there's a lot of new inventory coming in. But usually when there's a very small amount of days of inventory, it means the demand is high. So usually you'll do well in the short term as long as you buy something where everyone else wants to buy, okay? And then the last and most important thing is always your network. Now, I like to call this an indicator because if you have half a dozen family or friends or some knowledge of these markets, then that's usually a really good sign that this is one worth considering. If you're already familiar with about 3 to 4 growing pockets of town inside the path of progress, it might be good to leverage this knowledge. You'd have family, friends, and you also have growing knowledge or knowledge of the growing pockets of town that are headed out and looking like they're going to appreciate. That's a really good thing. That means that you have some insider knowledge that will help get you on the fast track to start in that market. And also, one last thing I want to say here too is who else is investing in this market? If you find out that about 25 to 40% of your network is either investing there already or they're looking to invest there, then that means that you're kind of on the right track. Because if your market says, yeah, this is a really good market, I've looked at this before and this is an interesting thing, then that means that you definitely have picked something that would be valuable for you to start pursuing. So hopefully that was useful to you guys. Again, the indicators all over again are population growth, average median income as opposed to or compared to the target rents, your cash flow in each of the rental units that you have on average, what you're targeting to buy, the absorption in the area, and what your network is and what your network can do for you. Okay. So hopefully that was helpful for you guys. I know that I had fun sharing this knowledge with you. This is stuff that I use in all of my market selections, even though I've already selected my markets. I'm always using this criteria to figure out what to buy next. So hopefully that was informative and you guys got something away or took something away from this. So if you guys want to learn more about how this all works and want to find out more about how to invest in multifamily investing, or if you want to just learn more in general, please look us up at elevateequity.org or take a look at some of the links that we have in the description here. We'd love to connect with you further from there. So at that, I'm going to go ahead and leave it and hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy, and we'll talk to you soon. See you later.